Loyal Family is family-owned, and the loyalty belongs to their customers. Contact them today to get your free home inspection. LoyalFamilyRenovations.com. Another MVP has joined the roster at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Dr. Ryan Stefanchek. Board certified in sports medicine, physical medicine, and rehabilitation, Dr. Stefanchek specializes in non-operative treatment of the spine, chronic pain, all joints, all musculoskeletal problems, and more, emphasizing holistic care first, with a focus on diet, sleep, stress management, and social connections for a patient's well-being. At Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference.
For the ultimate sports betting experience, get in the game at Potawatomi Sportsbook. Unleash your inner champion with dozens of betting kiosks, a VIP deck, high-end bar, first-class restaurant, broadcast booth, a 2,000-square-foot video wall, and more. It's a sports fan's paradise, 24/7. Bet above the rest. Only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Visit the website for more. Must be 21 years old. All bets must be made on site.
Carbless, a proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Premium, ready-to-drink cocktails made right here in Wisconsin. 0 carbs, 0 sugar, 0 gluten, 0 guilt, and just 100 calories a can. Carbless has flavors for every fan. Fruit flavors like pineapple, lemon lime, black cherry, and more. And classic cocktail options like margarita, Paloma, and Moscow Mule. Find Carbless at your local grocery store and pick up a pack to enjoy while you watch Brewers baseball at home or while you tailgate before a game. Carbless. Less is more.
Get up! Get out of here and go!
Covering the Crew all season long on WTMJ, it's Brewers Extra Innings. Now live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee at the Avenue. Here is your host, Dominic Cotroneo.
That really stung. 3-2, the Brewers fall to the Royals in Game 1 of a 3-game set between two contending teams out of the K at Kauffman Stadium. Game was moved up by 30 minutes because of impending weather. Looks like some heavy storms are certainly on the way. I'm Dominic Cotroneo. Jerry Augustine is with us as well. Augie, I want to get into the managerial decisions and the 3 questions that I have and some of the reactions to all of this too. But I think the biggest, first, most important point to make about this one, in the 7th inning, going to Jared Koenig, he was due to face 3 out of 4 left-handed hitters. Now, obviously, one was pinch hit for. But at the end of the day, we can sit here and argue about was it the right move, was it the wrong move, this, that, and the other. At the end of the day, when you allow a left-on-left home run, a hit by pitch to a pinch hitter, get ahead of a lefty 0-2, and then end up walking him, that is a recipe for disaster, and it comes down to a lack of execution. And furthermore, it's not just on Koenig. The Brewers got one good swing from Gary Sanchez, and that was their whole game plan offensively. They were 0 for 1 with runners in scoring position tonight. They just did not get the job done when it came to execution. Now, we can talk about Murph and everything else, but I think that's my biggest takeaway from today. The 2 biggest things that didn't execute. Jared Koenig did not execute tonight. He knows that. You know that as well. And the Brewers' offense, once again, was stagnant aside from the Gary Sanchez home run.
Yeah, we've seen that out of the Brewers the last 3 or 4 games where they haven't been able to score runs off of starting pitchers. And you got to give Reagan a hand because he really threw the ball very well. Left-hander, kept the ball down, changed speeds, used his breaking ball. He had 6 ground balls. It was very effective, but Bryce Wilson was right there with him. You can't pitch much better than Bryce Wilson pitched today. You know, you get these games where you get 2 good pitching performances like you did out of Wilson and Reagan. You get those great performances. It's going to come out to either a big blast, in which we got from Gary Sanchez in the 4th, but it's going to be, does a team have the ability to bunch some base runners together? Can they put some at-bats together where they get on base via walk or errors, hits, whatever? And I'll tell you what, that's what happened with Kansas City in the 7th. They were able, first of all, get the big home run from Massey, but then induce the hit by pitch, the walk. And I agree with you. Koenig just wasn't as sharp as he has been. He's been throwing the ball really good. Just got the ball up over the middle plate to Massey. He got it. But it's the hitting pitch, allowing guys to get on base. Anytime you give free passes late in the ball game, especially after that 6th inning, they're going to hurt you. And today it did hurt the Brewers.
So I got 3 bullet points here, 3 questions that are the main takeaways that I have from this game. Number 1, I know Koenig didn't execute, but why choose Jared Koenig over Hobie Milner, given Hobie's barely pitched over the last week, and furthermore, he hasn't really pitched with the lead that much. I don't know why he's fallen out of favor, because he's really righted the ship over the last couple of weeks. I got the numbers to prove it. So that's question number one. Question number two, I know it was close on the replay and the call stood, so that means there was nothing indisputable to overturn the call at third for Jackson Chourio stealing third. It looked really darn close. Maybe he got the sliding pad in there. But my question is, why are you trying that play at all? Why try at all? I understand Bryce is at the plate. Left on left is a tough situation. You're trying to avoid a double play ball. But a base hit's going to score Jackson with his speed. So I don't understand trying to send him there if that was a call from the dugout. And three, with Terang, why was he subbed in straight up for Joey Ortiz, knowing there was one lefty still left in that bullpen in Will Smith, meaning that if you had switched in Terang for, say, Monasterio in the order, you would move Ortiz from second to third, put Terang at second base. Terang would maybe have forced Will Smith to come in a little bit sooner, but then it's only righties down the stretch, and you have leverage for that with Oliver Dunn if you really wanted to hit for Joey Ortiz. So I thought those are just three questions. They're not, oh my gosh, he blew the game. Those are just three questions that I have of really looking forward to hearing from Murph later on the show about this.
Yeah, those are really interesting questions because you look at what Hobie Milner has done. He's been so good for the Brewers. But I think one thing Murph was doing right there is Jared Koenig has pitched the ball so well. He's done such an excellent job. You know, I'm going to get this guy in there for the starter. It's that closer for the starter. Come in and give me a good inning. I can go back to the bullpen. And now I still have Hobie Milner for later on in the ballgame if I do need him against a good Kansas City left-hand hitters. So I think that was Murph's thinking there. I thought it was a good move because Koenig has been throwing the ball so well. The Cheerios thing, stealing third base, you're always playing with fire. Anytime you make an out at third base, a lot of people say don't make the first or third out at third base. I think any out at third base is always a tough one unless you're being aggressive on the bases. And I just think it's just it can be a very tough play. It was a close play. I didn't work in the Brewers' favor, and I think that happened. As far as the Terang thing, I think any way you move there, I think is an okay move. I think Murph was just trying to figure out, but you can put Terang in any kind of place he's going to be effective. So, those are three quality questions that you do have. But I thought the questions of Koenig going in the ball game, I thought that was a legit. He's been throwing the ball so well for the Brewers, and here's a big chance to make him let him step up. But Cheerios, he's a young player. He's going to learn. He's going to do things the right way and the smart way. And right there, I thought he jumped the gun and probably should have stayed at second base.
Yeah, it's the second time this year the Brewers have been caught stealing third base this year. And it's just like if you're only going to go, if you know you're going to make it, especially with a left-hander up and a future Hall of Fame catcher, Salvador Perez, we can talk about the framing numbers all day with Salvi. He's still got a cannon, and that's part of the reason why he was behind the plate for so many years. I don't want to be a negative Nancy the whole show because Bryce Wilson was fantastic. We're going to talk about Bryce coming up next and get to some of these texts as well. 855-616-1620. Again, 855-616-1620. Brian, I'll get to you after the break. Stay with us. We're right here. Brewers Extra Innings going to the top of the hour with Jerry Augustine. I'm Dom Cotroneo. Back with more after this on WTMJ.
All Brewers games are on sale now. Coming up, a divisional battle with the Cardinals Thursday, May 9th through Sunday the 12th. Make your Saturday night plans for Star Wars night. Then take home a Mother's Day Brewers belt bag giveaway at the game on Sunday the 12th. Presented by American Family Insurance. Don't miss out on a weekend of rivalry baseball. Grab your seats at brewers.com/tickets.
Don't pay retail for your diamond engagement ring or gift. Come to cleanorigin.com.
Welcome back to Ask Hassleus.
If you could spend 1 month anywhere, where would you go?
Easy. I'd go to bed.
I mean anywhere in the world.
Precisely.
You'd spend the entire month in bed?
Specifically, a new Tempur-Pedic from Hassleus Mattress.
Why?
Because I can take 60 months to pay for it. Through Monday, get 60 months interest-free financing on select Tempur-Pedic mattresses, plus a $300 MasterCard gift card.
60 months. That means...
You can buy a Queen Tempur-Pedic Pro-Adapt Hybrid with ease-adjustable base for just $74 a month.
And I get a $300 MasterCard gift card.
Free next-day delivery and employee-free showrooms, too.
So I can try and buy...
with no pushy sales guy.
Hang on.
What are you doing?
Searching for a travel agent to book a month-long vacation at Hassel's Mattress.
Enjoy 60 months interest-free financing on select Tempur-Pedics through Monday at Hassel's Mattress. Open 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you or shop online at hasselis.com.
This is Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
Welcome back. I'm Dom Cotroneo with former Brewers pitcher Jerry Augustine. Thanks for joining us here. This text from Doug. Gary Sanchez came through again, but nobody else did. I feel bad for Bryce Wilson. Can't pitch much better than this one. It stings. I agree with that one entirely. This one from David in Superior. What an outing for Bryce Wilson. He's certainly blowing away expectations as a starter. Quite an unfortunate seventh inning there. It seems a handful of games the Crew have come down to a single inning of questionable defense so far. I did not even mention Willie's misplay there deep in the hole. Blake Perkins' error in the center field, that certainly played into that inning spiraling out of control in the seventh. But in the meantime, want to get to the phone lines. Brian waited through the break. Brian and Tosa, you're live on Brewers Extra Innings.
Hey, Dom. Thanks for taking my call. Yeah, positives. Wilson has been lights out since going in. I just hope, we don't overuse him and, he's ramping up, but let's not get another injury. But he's great. Sanchez did what they brought him in to do, hit a left-hander, hit a home run, gave us a chance to win. But our hitting, is just killing us. 3 hits tonight. Did we even have a runner in scoring position? But yesterday, we 0 for 7. That's gonna be our undoing, and it's been our undoing for the last couple of years. I mean, our pitching has carried us, and Kansas City came in with 3 guys hitting over 250, and they managed to get it done, and we didn't. So that's my concern. But it's still May. We still got plenty of time, but we got to work something out on the offense because it's going to end up shooting us in the foot when it's all said and done with.
Yeah, I agree entirely, Brian. Thanks for the call. When it comes to the Brewers' offense this year, Augie, they're actually a little bit better. I was looking back, exactly May 6th last year was also Game 33 for the Brewers a year ago. And a year ago, Rowdy Tellez was leading the team with 9 homers. Owen Miller was leading the team in batting average. Victor Caratini was second. So a lot can change once you get beyond May, if you get what I'm saying. But Bryce Wilson, let's go there. Bryce, wow, that was huge from him today. 6 strong shutout innings, 1 hit allowed, 3 walks, 2 of them in the first inning. He also struck out 6. Bryce Wilson now has back-to-back starts. He's got quality starts, and yet the Brewers are 0-2 in those games.
Yeah, he's been throwing the ball very well. I don't know if you remember, Dom, when he was back with the Pittsburgh Pirates, he actually started some games with Pittsburgh. And every time he'd pitch against the Brewers that I remember, I thought he threw the ball really well. He'd always start the game, get through those 3 and 4 innings and kind of lose it and make some bad mistakes. But it just seemed like now he's got himself together. The command that he has, he really locates his fastball. He elevates it when he needs to. He's got that good breaking ball and a good cutter. I think the cutter has come on where that's really been a really big pitch for him. He's done it really well. But after that leadoff single in the second inning, he retired 12 in a row. And even what I really like most about the 12 in a row is really neat to get 12 in a row and get you into the 6th inning. But when he walked the 2 guys in the 6th inning, boy, you could just see him dialing into a better spot and being able to make that good pitch, inducing the double play ball, and then striking out Perez on that good fastball. So because here's a guy who's really learned to put the things together to be educational-wise, to have a good resume and say what he wants to do to have a good sequence of pitches. I thought tonight he was fantastic. And each of the last 2 or 3 times out, he's been really good.
And let's go back to that Vinny Pasquantino double play, the 10-pitch at-bat. I mean, take me into the mindset of a pitcher there, Augie, because when you got a guy who's obviously a 3-hitter, he's a great hitter in Pasquantino. He's got a knack for contact. He does not have a lot of swing and miss in his game. And obviously, Bryce's bread and butter is the cutter. But here he is. He keeps fouling off. He keeps fighting it off. It's one of those things that you both know that Bryce Wilson knows, that Pasquantino knows he's going to throw a cutter. How do you still outsmart him in a 10-pitch battle to get the double play you needed?
Well, the sequence of pitches I thought Bryce used were excellent. He went right at him and everything, and then really made some good pitches. But I think the one thing you have to do is when you go into deep counts, when you get into that past that pitch number 6 and 7 and 8, when you get up into those areas, it's about execution. You really got to stay within yourself. And this is where I really thought that he took that step back and slowed the game down and executed his pitches. I thought that all the pitches that he executed in that at-bat was huge. He needed to do something pretty special. And then when he threw that good pitch and got a good double play ball, I just made some really good pitches. I think you have to credit him because he stayed within himself. He understood what his strengths were. He executed his game plan of what he wanted to do, and he located the pitch where he had to induce a double play off a very, very good hitter. And then to come back and after that and strike out Perez, I'll tell you, with a good fastball, he just reached back, got some extra. That's an area where a pitcher you see takes those next steps to become a good quality major league pitcher. And I tell you, Bryce did a great job tonight.
He was fantastic. I find it ironic that, so in the 10 games now, there's only been 10 games so far. We're only a month plus into the season, a month and a week, that the Brewers have had the starter go at least 6 innings. There have only been 10 games. Tonight was the 10th. The Brewers are 8-2 in such games. The 2 are Bryce Wilson. He will get that ship righted. It's not his fault, obviously, because he can't do any better than what he did tonight. 6 innings, no runs allowed. I do want to give a chance to start getting to some of these questions that I had, and we do have audio from Pat Murphy as well. And I just want to start with the Jared Koenig decision. The reason why he went to Jared Koenig was, number one, Brian Hudson was not available tonight. Remember, he threw a heavy workload on Saturday. They've worked him to the bone the last few days, so they wanted to give him 2 full days off. Number 2, they felt they were worried about righties against Hobie. That's got to be something internal because the external stats we see with, yes, 1 home run allowed, but it hasn't been that bad of a year against Hobie for righties versus lefties. Obviously, he's in there mainly to get lefties, but righties coming into tonight only hitting .208. 5 for 24 against him with 1 home run. Yes, 4 walks, though, to be fair. 4 walks in there, too. But he went with Jared Koenig, and again, like I said at the top of the program, Koenig did not execute. It's not on the manager to go tell a guy how to throw a ball. You got to put the full trust in the guys that you have. Maybe he would have used Hobie later, but you knew he had Peguero and McGill and Payamps ready to go, and obviously, Peguero didn't pitch well with inherited runners. Again, that's now 7 of 9 inherited runners that have scored this year against Peguero. But at the end of the day, Murph gave his reasoning. He's sticking to it. Hudson wasn't available. Didn't like the matchup for the righties against Milner, and Koenig didn't execute. And I think that's the story of that 7th inning.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I think when you look at Jared Koenig coming in the ballgame, he has really pitched very well. But you look at the bat against Macy when Macy hit the home run. That was a pitch out break. It looked like a little bit of a high fastball, high breaking ball. Then they got to the middle of the plate, and Massey really put a good swing on it. Got that ball a little bit not in the position where he wanted. I think he wanted to get that ball either way in or way away, and when you do that, you execute it. And right there, he just made a mistake, and Massey put a good swing on it, hit the home run. But even more than giving up the home run, the hit by pitch, I think he got a little bit frustrated. Next hitter tried to be a little bit too fine, induced a walk, and then all things broke loose right there when Peguero came in the ball game. But you come in the game as a pitcher, the first thing you have to do is you got to throw strike 1 and you got to get the first out. One of the big things as a reliever, anytime I used to come in the ball game, I wanted to get that first out, settle things down, get that first out, and right there I just thought maybe a little bit, Jared, just a little that time, just threw that first hitter to Massey. Massey got a pitch that he could handle and hit the ball out of the ballpark.
And Hobie, I think the frustration for a lot of folks with this decision is we've seen Hobie, and Murph has seen Hobie pitch very well in his career as a Brewer. But the fact that he came in later in the inning, it's like, okay, well, he was available. So you chose Koenig over Milner, which is why the Brewers fans, I would imagine, are frustrated with this decision. But again, you make better pitches, and it's a better result. I think the walk to Frazier was the real one. You're like, oh, no, this did not work out because obviously they went to Peguero there. But he had Frazier 0-2, ends up walking him. The next batter, Dairon Blanco, hits the ground ball to the left side that Willie Adames misplayed. It was ruled an infield single. Willie's got to get at least an out there. And he went into a slide. I don't want to say, oh, yeah, that's totally an error. It's not an error if you go into a slide, but I think Willie would tell you more times than not, he's going to make that play. And Willie holds himself to a high standard defensively, and man, really bad time for both him and Perkins, some of your best defenders on the field, to both have misplays in the 7th inning that led to 3-run scoring.
I agree. I think that was a tough play. And like you said, anytime you leave a speed, you go down, you're trying to make a great play like that. Williams is going to make that play nine times out of 10. But I think, also, and let's look at what with this Koenig and Hobie Milner. I think one thing Murph, we got to think here, Dom, is saying that, Jared Koenig has come into games earlier in the game. He hasn't come in a lot of times late in the ball game. That keeping him in that situation where you want to stay positive with him. And Hobie Miller's been a guy who's come in at any time, whether it's early in the game, late in the game. He knows how to come in to get those late inning outs. And I think that might have been some of Murph's thinking right there, and you got to think about that also. But it's just, you got to execute. You come in the game, that first hitter is always the most important hitter. You got to get ahead with him. It didn't work out today, but these guys have all been throwing the ball well, and they'll bounce back.
Yep, we'll talk offense coming up next with Augie, 855-616-1620, 855-616-1620. This one from the 262. I wish I could point fingers and say we played a good game, but 3 hits and wasting a Bryce Wilson gem ain't going to do it. I don't think the umps got anything wrong, and they certainly didn't affect the final outcome. You know ball. I appreciate you from the 262. Thanks for texting in. We'll take a breather. Come back with more on WTMJ.
Sleep apnea is a serious condition. And the worst part about it is, because it affects you while you're sleeping, you don't know what this condition is doing to you.
And it was scary because I found out that I was waking up 145 times an hour. 145 times. I was scared. I wasn't getting the sleep I needed.
And that's the thing. Someone like John wakes up after thinking he's slept all night, and he's been feeling run down for years, and finally finds out something really is wrong. This is why, for us, solving sleep apnea problems is so gratifying, because we really are changing lives.
I've had more energy. I'm getting better sleep. I've been told from my wife I don't snore, but honestly, it changed my life.
This is Dr. Madan Kandula. Solving your breathing triangle problems means a better quality of life, and you deserve that.
Go to AdventKnows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary.
Since 1955, Geist Garage Doors has been the trusted authority in Wisconsin. Hey, it's Greg Matzik. Don't let a busted garage door get you down. Give my friends at Geist a call. Doors and openers for every budget are available, and they'll even build custom designs to meet your exact needs. Check out GeistDoors.com or call 262-784-4250. Or do what I did. Check out their amazing showroom in Brookfield featuring hundreds of doors, openers, and their custom design room. Wherever you are in southeast Wisconsin, don't think twice. Call Geist.
Don't think twice. Call Geist.
This is Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
Brewers Extra Innings all season long is brought to you by Fifth Third Bank. With the local Milwaukee team, Fifth Third Bank also knows how to hit it out of the park. They've been serving businesses in the area for nearly 15 years, offering industry-specific expertise and local decision-making capabilities to help your business succeed. This is commercial banking value only Fifth Third can deliver. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, member FDIC. You mentioned it earlier, Augie. I'm done. Segment. This is exactly what Gary Sanchez was brought here to do. Hit against lefties and hit homers. Well, he's got 11 hits this season, and 10 of them are for extra bases. So today, another home run for him. That was the 4th home run of the season for him this season. He's also got 6 doubles. I mean, he just continues to torch the baseball, and clearly the hamstring's feeling okay, and obviously he was behind the plate today, too, in order to do so. So love what we've seen from him so far this season.
Yeah, I like it. Now, I'll tell you what, the pitch he hit for home run was not a bad pitch. I think one thing Reagan wanted to do is he wanted to get that ball in a little bit more. It was down. It had a little bit of too much plate. Sanchez went down, hit the ball at the ballpark, and a Brewer fan was able to catch him, got pretty excited out there in center field. But when you look at what he's done, he's a good hitter against the left-hand pitching. That's what you want to do. You want to be able to have your team that's well balanced and go out and hit either right hand or left hander. He's brought in at the perfect time. But it's, anytime, Dom, you go out there and you have 5 base runners in a game, you know it's going to be low scoring, and you know when you get the hits and you get guys on base, you have to take advantage. And that's one thing that the Brewers weren't able to do. They weren't able to take advantage, unlike what Kansas City did in the 7th. They got some home run. They got a couple guys on base. What did you do? They took advantage of that situation. Bunching your hits, bunching your players on base, scoring a couple runs, and they were able to score the 3 runs and beat the Brewers.
And looking at it, 0 for 1 with a runner in scoring position today, and that's after the Jackson Churio double steal fail with William Contreras on second when Terang ended up flying out to center field. That was the only at-bat with the runner in scoring position today for the Brewers. That's never going to cut it. And you said it at the top as well. Tip your cap to Cole Reagans. That dude's on his way to superstardom. Tall left-hander, can throw 96, 98. Great changeup. The Brewers were totally fooled by the changeup today. But the lack of opportunities is what's really hurting the Brewers right now. They're just 2 for their last 17 with runners in scoring position. That's going back over the last 3 games. And even on Friday, they won the game, obviously, at Wrigley Field. They were 3 for 9. Just gives you an idea. 3 for 9 doesn't sound all that great, but then you realize that's 333. If you can get 9 opportunities, odds are you're finally going to break through as they did in that game on Friday. We have not seen them get the big hit or even give themselves opportunities to get the big hit the last couple of games.
Yeah, you need that. I think one thing you look out through a season, we noticed that from the last several years, is the ability to make things happen when you get on base. And, we always talk about the ball club and getting guys on base. Today they only had 5 guys on base. But when you get at guys on base, is giving those good at-bats, moving runners over, getting them in, those are so important. We see the Brewers manufacturing runs a lot this year. They've been hitting home runs, but they've been manufacturing runs. It's so important. And I think when you get on base, that hitting with runners in scoring position is so important. Giving a good at-bat is even more important. Give a good at-bat, good things are going to happen. And the Brewers are struggling a little bit right there right now, but they're going to bounce back, and hopefully they'll start tomorrow.
And a good reminder here as well, on the text line here, another text from the 262. Yelich missing is still a problem. He extends the lineup so well. Going 1 for 13 at the plate from your 1 through 4 hitters is not a good recipe for success. I agree entirely. But we did get some news today on Yelich. Christian actually hit on the field today during batting practice with the rest of the team today. We reported over the weekend that he had been running aggressively, hitting in the cage. Today was the first time that he hit on the field, and Pat Murphy said today before the game, if everything goes well tomorrow and he hits on the field again and his body bounced back, we could see him in the lineup on Wednesday, maybe Thursday, if everything is going well. But the fact that Christian Yelich's return seems to be imminent has to give this offense a lift.
Oh, there's no question. There's certain guys you get in a lineup, and you talk about the days of the Ryan Braun, Prince Fielder, and those type style guys. Back when I played, it was the Robin Yount and the Paul Molitor's guys that make your offense move. They do the little things. They're the igniters in your offense. And I think that's what you have out of Christian Yelich. He does so much. He can hit for average. He can hit for power. He runs the bases so well. Those are the type of guys that can really demonstrate and do the things you have to do to have a good lineup. And definitely the Brewers do miss him, and I'm sure they can't wait to get him back. And when they do get him back, I think he's going to be a big part of this lineup.
I mean, he's got only 11 games under his belt this season, yet 5 homers, a double. And I also want to backtrack. I had the numbers wrong on Gary. He's got 7 extra base hits of his 11 hits this season. But for Yelly, this is a dude that obviously makes everything go. The Brewers have been a rotating door in the 3-hole since he went down with injury in that Baltimore series. And let's also be real. Yelly's not going to be the same Yelly that we saw in the beginning of April because he's coming back from the back. I mean, he's missed multiple weeks now. He is going to need time to get the batter's eye back and to get things moving in the right direction. And it's not going to be like you snap your fingers and boom, Christian Yelich of old that we saw before the injury is going to be right back here again. Give this dude some time, but his presence, I have to imagine, is going to help. But let's be patient with him.
Yeah, there's no question. I think when you see him in lineup, the one thing that's been so impressive, Dom, out of Christian Yelich this year is his approach, his patience at the plate, and how he's been able to hit the ball to all fields. Last year, he'd get that ball up and away from him. Sometimes he'd swing through it, or to break a ball down and in would always give him problems. He's staying off of those pitches. He's got a better idea at the plate. He's being patient, slowing down the game, and I think that part, I think he's going to be able to keep. But like you said, Dom, anytime you sit out over a period of time, you got to give yourself a little bit of time to get back in the swing of things. And Christian's going to need some at-bats, and hopefully it'll be real soon.
I think it will be very soon indeed. This was a fun one despite the loss. Always appreciate you coming on to talk about baseball with us here, Jerry Augustine of the Brewers. Augie, we'll talk to you again tomorrow. Hopefully it won't be such an earlier start as well. But, hey, enjoy the evening, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, we got a great pitching matchup with Colin Ray and Seth Lugo tomorrow. The two guys are really throwing the ball real well. So we're going to have another good ball game. Hopefully the Brewers can put some guys on base, bunch those runners on base, score some runs, and get a big win.
If there's such thing as a crafty righty, that's what both of these guys are. Normally that's a crafty lefty type of thing, but this should be a fun one tomorrow, eh?
Well put, Dom. Well put. They are, and they've been throwing the ball very well. It's going to be a good ball game. Brewers got to get back in that winning mode and get back with it and things going positive for them. But tomorrow's going to be a good game. I can't wait to be with you tomorrow.
Got to get back on track. Jerry Augustine here on WTMJ. Take a breather, come back. We'll hear from the manager, Pat Murphy, up next on 620 WTMJ.
Dr. Ken's mind is fine as aged wine, let me tell you.
Hey! This is The Truth on WTMJ.
Appreciate the work they do. They entertain us, they entertain me. But we go too far, man.
We do, to the point where we elect them to be president.
Facts.
With Dr. Ken Harris and Denise Thomas.
I get that there's a generational skip, but pick one, 8 or 9.
Sunday night starting at 7.
You've seen both.
All but 2 of them denominations.
8.15, 8.157.
I do.
Right here on WTMJ.
Do you want the economy mulch or the premium? The only real difference is that the premium mulch has thicker strands, while the economy mulch is finer. But the colorant we use for both is of the highest quality, and that's why the color of our mulch lasts longer. And our mulch comes from trees, not pallets, and we process it all in-house. That's why our prices are so low. Erickson's Landscape Supply, high-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. At Erickson's Landscape Supply, we have durable, maintenance-free polywood patio furniture and #1 grade treated natural pine Amish-made patio furniture. And we also have a wonderful assortment of concrete benches, statues, and fountains available in a selection you just gotta see to believe. Erickson's Landscape Supply, high-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less, plus a whole lot more. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection or stop on in today.
Visit family-owned Ken Michaels Furniture and our in-store design centers where you'll still find beautiful, luxurious, heirloom-quality American-made furniture. Right now, save 30 to 35% store-wide and take advantage of our complimentary design services. Whether you're moving, renovating, or updating, our designers will help your vision become a reality. Visit Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield on Capitol Drive and in Greenfield on Highway 100 to save 30 to 35% store-wide today. Sleep better and save more with mattresses from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in our Milwaukee factory, our mattresses utilize natural materials like cotton cushioning, which dissipates body heat, Joma wool quilts for warm wintry nights and cool summer evenings, and natural latex providing superior conformability and pressure relief for aching joints. Stop in today at any Ken Michaels Furniture store and save up to 50% compared to national brands.
This is Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
Welcome back. I'm Dominic Cotroneo. Brewers fall 3-2 to the Royals. Tough one. But I want to also thank one of our sponsors, Cider Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical. Spring in Wisconsin means it's time for your annual AC tune-up. Cider Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical has you covered. You can save $25 on AC preventative maintenance through the end of the month. Schedule an appointment today at Cider, SEIDER.com. I want to change up the order of the show a little bit today, given we've asked a lot of questions about Pat Murphy today. So let's just go ahead and play it on through. Let's see what the manager had to say from his own words on today's loss to the Royals and all the questions that we had earlier. Here's Murph.
Absolutely. Wilson and Gary. Gary did a great job handling them. And, Wilson had some speed bumps there a few times where you're like, what? And especially that 6th inning. And that was huge for our whole staff. And, it's another good start for him.
Murph, how big was that double play? I mean, he needed 10 pitches on Pasquantino in the 6th. But then he was able to get out of it after that. But it seemed like that was what turned it for him. Yeah,
he was great. I mean, I was second-guessing myself for not putting Koenig in there right now, knowing that it could be a shortened game with the weather coming. But Billy proved himself and got out of the 6th. And then, unfortunately, we give up the home run and a 2-strike home run that a non-executed pitch, and then, they capitalized after that.
0-2 on the walk too, right? Is that a?
Yeah. I mean, he's been great for us, but he's a rookie, and it's he's going to have a night like that. He wasn't his best, but he did do some good things. So, happens.
Did you? What did you like about Jared as opposed to maybe Hobie or Brian in that situation?
Brian wasn't available. Yeah, and Hobie's been better in different situations because of how effective the righties have been against him, and they were staggered there a little bit. So.
The 2 errors in the inning, Murph, too, like that's just uncharacteristic for Willie.
I don't think Willie's was an error.
They did. Oh, sorry.
After the play.
Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, no, I mean, I think Willie's play was a really, really tough play, and he had to go a long way for the ball. So, I mean, that happens in the game. He kept it in front of him, and then the other ball was just hit where we weren't, and. He scored a couple runs, but the ball in the outfield is, again, it's Perk's first time in this outfield, and letting that guy get to second base. But that happens. We've been so good defensively, especially that kid Perkins has been great. So that kind of stuff happens. But you got to get some runners in scoring position. Sanchez gave us a big lift. We did have some good at bats. The kid was really tough. A lot of credit to that kid. He threw the ball great. Salvi was great, riding him through it. It was really great, and so credit to him. I just felt like close ball game. Churio getting stolen out of there. Pitchers 1-7, 1-8 to the plate. Bang bang. I thought he was safe. You know what I mean? But the call stands. Umpires are doing their best, so it's the way it happens.
But going back to Bryce a little bit, when you take into account his last 2 starts with what has been going on with your guys pitching and injuries and everything, how crucial is that? How much has he kind of stabilized things for you in the meantime?
Yeah, I mean, he has been, like you can point to a few guys on our team, that have been like that, you know what I mean? The Perkins type thing with Yelly out, and Bryce is the guy on the mound, Joe Ross on the mound, that have just stepped up big and able to survive right now. But two real close calls at the end. Not questioning the umpires. I'm just saying two real close calls at the end changed the game, and but we got to do more. We didn't hit with a runner in scoring position until that time. So.
The Churio play, it's like the initial call is everything, isn't it? Has that been your experience in the replay era?
Yeah, it is. It's everything. And as it looks from our people are pretty certain that he never touched him before he touched the base. But, we all understand the system, and we understand the risks. We've won games doing that kind of stuff, and you gotta be willing to take those gambles, So, and we're going to continue to do that, so.
And you know what? Listening to Murph, he gives reasons. I'm going to be real for a second. When Pat Murphy, when I first sat down with him in spring training and got to know him and was in there in every single media session, I was surprised. I was surprised at how much I was learning and how open he was and how forthcoming he was with information. That's an indirect dig, as I say it out loud, to Craig Counsell. But again, I don't blame a manager for not wanting to be forthcoming with that sort of stuff to the media. Murph laid out his reasons. He said Hobie Milner didn't like the fact that there could have been a righty off the bench, and there's a righty coming in there as well. Did not like that matchup for him for what they see in that matchup. It goes so much deeper than what you and I see on Baseball Reference. I promise you that. The other thing, with Jackson Churio stealing third, 1-7-1-8. If you heard that, that means that's the time to the plate from the pitcher. The pitcher delivering to the plate. That's generally a time that you can steal on. So, yeah, give it a shot. Maybe not with a lefty on the at the plate, clear path for Salvi, but maybe in a different replay center, he's safe. But the call on the field stood as called that he was out. So he gave good reasons for those right there and didn't get to the terrain one, but that's like kind of a really deep stuff. So you know what? I heard from what Murph had to say about today's game. I appreciate him being forthcoming about it and handling the questions professionally, and it's no big deal. You're going to lose games in a 162-game season. But for a couple of folks that are asking, why didn't Tyler Black steal second base in the ninth inning? In the ninth, Stratton was like a 1-1-1-2 on my stopwatch. I was keeping track of that myself, and he was really quick to the plate, and that is not a good time to try to steal second base on. And it's what they do. They steal bases. All right. Get more runners in scoring position. He said it. I've said it. Hoggy said it. Get more runners in scoring position. Good things can happen. Take a breather. Come back with more. We're going to the top of the hour on 620 WTMJ.
So if you're already in a relationship with an auto service center, that's great. We hope things keep firing on all cylinders.
But if you're not in a relationship, why not book your next date with us at Richlands the next time you're due for service?
All of our locations are AAA approved and staffed by ASC certified technicians with PhDs in
We can fix anything! Put that on top of the friendliest, hardest working staff you'll ever meet inside a tire and service center,
and you've got yourself a rock-solid date.
the next time you're due for factory scheduled maintenance
Or tires, brakes, and suspension service.
Book your date at richlands.com.
Or just Google us. But remember, Richlands is spelled with 2 N's.
And oh yeah, be safe, buckle up, and hey,
Always make sure you have good tread on your tires. I'm Courtney Matchke with Richlands, and you're due for a date.
clever.
Richlands Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richlands.
If you're like me, you always like to add a little something new to the wardrobe. But when money's tight, it makes it harder. And that's why you shop at St. Vincent de Paul for a terrific selection of women's clothing at thrift store prices. Brand names, too, with a selection that's always up to date and looking great. You're going to find something cute at the right price, and you're going to love it. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, and 23rd in Lincoln in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it. St. Vincent de Paul.
Now, more Brewers Extra Innings presented by Fifth Third Bank on WTMJ.
Fifth Third Bank, your local bank. Welcome back, Dom Catronio. Brewers fall 3-2. Just felt like you let one get away there. You really did. Just a chance to really make an impact against a team that you know is going to be in there throughout the season. They're going to be a contender in the AL Central. Good little litmus test. Just really would have been nice. But otherwise, when it comes to tomorrow's matchup, Seth Lugo, Colin Ray, joking with Augie, absolutely, crafty righties is the way to go with this. 45 innings this year for Lugo. He's 5-1, a 1.60 ERA. 45 innings, only 31 strikeouts. He's walked 11. Lugo, his big deal this year is he's just staying off of the barrel. He's not necessarily getting more ground balls than usual or giving up more fly balls than usual. He's just letting guys get themselves out. He doesn't strike out the world, doesn't get ground balls. He just has a low average hard hit rate against him and keeps guys off balance. Kind of similar to the Brewers guy with Colin Ray. You know, it's going to be a very similar matchup tomorrow. You may see some very uncomfortable swings. Guys that are second-guessing themselves mid-swing. But there's a lot of blue on Seth Lugo's Baseball Savant page, and then you look at the numbers at the top, the pitching run value, fastball run value, you're like, oh, wow, that's pretty darn good. Fastball's been good. Doesn't throw hard, 92, 93, just like Ray. So we're going to see two pitchability guys certainly going tomorrow. Fifth Third Bank, local Milwaukee team. Fifth Third Bank also knows how to hit it out of the park. They've been serving businesses in the area for nearly 15 years. Industry-specific expertise and local decision-making capabilities. It's all going to help your business succeed. Commercial banking value that only Fifth Third can deliver. Fifth Third Bank National Association, member FDIC. Highlights coming up next on 620 WTMJ.
I'll say it again. Our mission is to protect and uphold our reputation. And what that means is wherever we go, we make it better for those in need of our services and the great people we have working with us. Our reputation matters. It matters to us, and it should matter to you. We believe that operating with integrity will set us apart from our competitors, and that this attracts people to us that share these same values. I say this because I want you to know when you work with Semper Fi, character counts. It's why you can count on the industry's hands-down best lifetime workmanship warranty that now includes free annual inspections. And it's why we always have one project manager per job, which is absolutely not the industry standard. When you're paying for a brand new roof to go on what's likely the biggest investment you have, you want it done right, and you want to be able to count on the people doing it. This is Brad Youngleth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company.
Keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
Suit up for the $800,000 Sports Car Series at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. April through May, score free play, cash, one of 4 new Toyota GR86s or a new Toyota Supra. Play with your club card to earn entries, 5 times the entries on drawing days, and when the Milwaukee Brewers play at home. Got what it takes? Slugger, only at Potawatomi. For more details, visit paysbig.com/sportscar. Must be 21 and a club member to play.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Their mission is to transform the culture of care. We're all living longer. That means in all of our families, people are facing Alzheimer's, dementia, and other memory-related issues. Azura specializes in caring for those with early to late stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms. They're Wisconsin-based, 14 in our state, 4 in our area. I've been in their buildings. They're fantastic. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, empathy and compassion at the core. It's Azura.
Need to hire quality candidates fast? You need Indeed. Their video interview tool makes it easy and effortless to meet with candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex.com.
Is your business looking for localized banking solutions and a strategic partner? Fifth Third Bank has been looking forward to the future and helping businesses shape what's next for 165 years, and for the last 15 here in Milwaukee. They offer industry-specific expertise, local decision-making capabilities, and extensive experience to help navigate the complexities of a constantly changing business market environment. With your business in mind, commercial banking value only Fifth Third can deliver. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, custom solutions built around your goals, member FDIC.
I know you have a great dog, right? But you know there's room for improvement. At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we can help. Our attention-based training system uses modern technology to help you better communicate with your dog, even in high distraction. When you schedule a free consultation with us, you will have the opportunity to see our training in action and meet for yourself our happy dogs off leash and under control. Contact Sit Means Sit today at 262-361-3641 or find us on the web at sitmeanssitwaukesha.com to schedule your free consultation so you can have a happy, confident, and obedient dog.
Welcome back to Brewers Extra Innings.
Ready for this?
Get up!
This?
Get up!
And this?
Get out of here! Go!
Time for tonight's highlights. Here's Dominic Catronio.
Cole Reagans against Bryce Wilson. Game 1 of a 3-game set from Kansas City. Moved up a little bit due to impending inclement weather. Both pitchers started off pretty strong. Now, Wilson got out of a jam in the first, but kept the 0 on the board, then really hit his groove in the first 3 innings. He only needed 46 pitches to get through the first 3. Then at the top of the 4th inning, with still a 0-0 game, Willie Adames managed to single up the middle, and with 2 outs, Gary Sanchez in the game facing the lefty and behind the plate was at the dish.
The 2-1 pitch. High drive left field. Back is Melendez. Track onto the wall. This is gone! 2-run home run, Gary Sanchez, and the Brewers strike first in Kansas City.
Josh Mauer's call here on WTMJ. 2-0 Brewers. Bryce Wilson took that lead and ran with it. He had a shutdown bottom of the 4th inning on just 9 pitches. He only needed 11 pitches in the 5th inning, but then finally faced some danger in the 6th. 3rd time through the order, he walked Michael Garcia. He walked Bobby Witt Jr. Then a 10-pitch battle ensued with Vinny Pasquantino. This round went to Bryce.
3-2. Ground ball to second base. Big hop for Ortiz. Flips to second for 1. Adames to first in time. It's a 4-6-3 double play.
10 pitches later, huge to get Pasquantino, but not out of the woods yet. Salvador Perez, one of the best hitters in the league this year, with a man on third and 2 outs.
0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. The Royals threatened. but Bryce Wilson got tough. A double play and a strikeout of the veteran Salvi Perez, and we're on to the 7th.
You would think with the Brewers bullpen things would go great. Unfortunately, they would not. In the bottom of the 7th, Jared Koenig allowed a leadoff homer to Michael Massey. Then with one out, a hit batter to Nelson Velasquez, a walk to Adam Frazier. Peguero came in and the wheels fell off. An infield single, a 2-run single, an EA, a walk, and a double play, and you blink, and it's 3-2, which was our final score today. As the Royals defeat the Brewers in Game 1 of the series, Bryce Wilson, a quality start, but a tough luck, no decision. We'll wrap up the show. Preview tomorrow up next on WTMJ.
While you rest on the weekends, we work for you. Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News with Libby Collins. The latest in news.
TMJ4 meteorologist Brendan Johnson.
We're getting all 4 seasons, it looks like, in the span of just about 72 hours.
Entertainment.
His name's John Crimper.
I rode cheap when I was 3, and that's when it all started.
And more. Every Sunday morning starting at 8 on WTMJ.
Trust in your family's comfort at home with Cider Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical. They're the oldest family-owned HVAC company in southeast Wisconsin. 4 generations of Ciders, and their highly trained technicians provide a one-stop shop for all home and business comfort needs, including an emergency service line that's always live and a 12-year parts and labor warranty on all Daikin products. Get peace of mind by scheduling maintenance today with Cider Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical. That's SEIDER, cider.com.
All Brewers games are on sale now. Coming up, a divisional battle with the Cardinals Thursday, May 9th through Sunday, the 12th. Make your Saturday night plans for Star Wars night. Then take home a Mother's Day Brewers belt bag giveaway at the game on Sunday, the 12th. Presented by American Family Insurance. Don't miss out on a weekend of rivalry baseball. Grab your seats at brewers.com/tickets.
Each day there's a sliver of time when you can almost breathe freely. And you feel better when you can. But you know that eventually that sliver of time closes, along with your nose. It puts a damper on your day every day. So you pop a pill or you take a spray to try to get that relief back. But it's always short-lived. And all the while in your efforts to give yourself relief, you may be making your nasal breathing problems worse. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula, and a simple in-office procedure from Advent called balloon sinuplasty could be the fast and convenient answer to your breathing triangle problems. Advent has been a leader in this procedure, which can be hard to find elsewhere. It's simple, there's little to no downtime, and it really can be life-changing.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Breathe well with simple solutions. Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
Results may vary.
This is Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
All right, we're not expecting the game time to change tomorrow after it did today. We'll be on the air at 6 o'clock with the On Deck show. I've got you after the game as well for Brewers Extra Innings, a 6:40 first pitch from Kauffman Stadium. Then on Wednesday, we'll be on the air at 12:30 for a 1:10 first pitch for the finale of this road trip. No post-game show on Wednesday, but then we'll be back all weekend long, a 4-game set with the Cardinals, and we've got 4 post-game shows coming up for you against the Redbirds. Thursday, we will be playing at 6:40, Friday at 7:10, Saturday at 6:10, and Sunday at 1:10. So 4 different game times in a single weekend. Can we standardize this, please? There should be 3 game times and 3 game times only. 7, 6, and 1. Nothing else. I digress. I get it. I'm not going to complain that much, but it's a little weird to keep track of sometimes. But tomorrow, nonetheless, we're on the air at 6:05, 6:40. First pitch here on WTMJ. Colin Ray against Seth Lugo. Like we said, pair of righties are going to have some fun with it. And maybe, just maybe, we might see Robert Gasser by the end of the week. We'll talk more about that tomorrow. We got distracted today. My thanks to Matt Yazel, our producer. I'm Dominic Cotroneo. Brewers fall 3-2. Back with more tomorrow. Until then, keep on swinging.
With a local Milwaukee team, Fifth Third Bank knows what success looks like. They've been serving businesses and individuals in the area for nearly 15 years, including a long-standing commitment to the healthcare industry. From expansion to treasury management, Fifth Third offers a full suite of financial services and solutions across the health